Welcome to another edition of Set the Trend podcast, where we talk and reminisce about the good old days of rare groove and mostly slow jams and a lot of rare groove. And today's going to be probably, I don't know, it's going to be interesting, in fact. My co-host today, I think we'll be looking forward to this gentleman coming up.
Oh yeah, 100%
to the platform.
100%.
His name's 100%. Been like one of the ones that we.
How long has it taken?
It's taken a bit longer.
About 3 years.
Try a bit longer than that. We
4
started
years.
in 2017, didn't we? So right now we've been biding our time though. Nothing. Timing is everything.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
of course.
Welcome to my co-host EastEnder and Reggie Styles. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad, thank you. All good. You know, I'm just trying to apply for a job to be his money counter. I heard he's got a sold out show.
He's doing well, isn't it?
A couple of sold out shows actually. You know what I mean?
It's not about the money, mate. It's not about the money.
Proud of you, mate. Proud of you.
We do it for charity.
I do it for the love. And I do it for the likes. I don't do it for the money.
That's what they always say.
And how about yourself, sir?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Everything is going hunky dory. What are you looking forward to this evening's podcast?
I am looking forward to
one thing.
One thing. A selection of music that I've never heard of.
Okay, we're going to ask him about that.
My favourite selection of music that I've never heard of.
He's probably put to the side and maybe has never even played. Maybe you might come up with one and two that he maybe wished he had played.
Yeah, I want to add to my collection.
Kept himself, yeah. EastEnder?
I'm looking forward to the discussion on rare groove. You know, rare groove's my thing. It's his thing too.
Rare groove or soul music?
Rare groove.
Vintage soul, we call it now.
Who's we?
That's what the new word is.
That's well. No. We set the trend here. I'm not sure he created that, but we still call it rare groove.
Okay.
So whoever's using that vintage soul tag, that sounds like a Spotify kind of thing.
On your head be it.
Vintage soul. I like that title.
We're definitely going to have some fun. This gentleman, I mean, I don't know. I've watched him since I've come into the game. So I'm going to really enjoy talking about the back history because it'd be interesting to see where he come from and how he originated to Desi G. You know what I'm saying to you? Because Desi G sounds like a sexy name. It doesn't sound like one of them rebranded names. So I don't know, was he Daddy Desi back in the day or General Desi back in the day? So it'd be interesting to know if he was always...
He definitely wasn't Desmond Tutu.
Desmond Tutu.
But he's not only a DJ, collector, selector, an icon. He's not only one of the godfathers of the rare groove scene. I also, what a lot of people call him Sir Desi D. He doesn't like that.
Right, okay.
So let's just get that out of the window. He doesn't like Sir Desi G, even though I think it's out of affection because of so much that he's achieved that they want to call him Sir Desi G. He said quite simply, when I'm finished, I just want to be known as the GOAT.
GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
Hey.
And I think he's well on his way there to be doing that. Welcome, Desi G, to Set the Trend podcast.
He's there.
How are you, sir?
Wow.
I'm good.
You're smiling. You look good.
People don't really know me to smile. I'm smiling.
We've been having interesting conversations off camera, and we'll get into some of those. But when we talk about Desi G, when was the beginnings of? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Was it Desi? Was it? I don't want to call you by your government name because you might not want people to know your government name.
Believe it or not, I've always been called Desi.
Wow.
Right? My government name is Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But from I was so high, my mum used to call me Desi. Right? And that name's just stuck.
So it wasn't hard for you to brand yourself because that name's is not a bad, sexy name to be going forward to in the 90s.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you had that. So the love of music came after. And at what age did you fall in love with music?
I fell in love with music from church.
So he was in a typical
Yes,
household
yes,
where
yeah.
the plays music.
My parents were Christians.
Did you go to church?
Devout Christians.
Did you go to church?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Sunday school.
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I had to go to church.
What was it Pentecostal Methodist?
New Testament Church of God.
All right.
Did you sing in the choir?
Yes.
Really?
Go on, Desi.
Yeah, Joe.
Serious.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sung in
don't
the
take
choir.
it. Hey, listen, I was in the church choir, you know, as well. Yeah. My one's Anglican, so
Which is not unusual for West Indian family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bible classes.
So on a typical Sunday, when mummy's probably in the kitchen, as we used to have, and she's cooking the Sunday dinner and that, what music could have been heard around the Graham household?
Jim Reeves every time.
Jim Reeves, right? Mm-hmm.
That would be playing in the background more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when did the other influences? Because I've not heard you play Jim Reeves much, but I know you have. I definitely heard you play Jim Reeves. But when did the other influence of music start taking hold of you?
Right. So when I was growing up, we're talking about back in the 60s. So now I'm showing my age. Yeah. And I was listening to things like the Beatles, right? Rolling Stones, right? So listening to music, it was a wide range of music, all different kind of genres when I was growing up. But I would say that my first love would have been the Christian music.
Okay.
Gospel
music, I should say, yes.
Okay.
Which you still collect up until today?
Yes, because some gospel tunes, I think a lot of these artists who say that they're singing gospel tunes, if you listen to some of the lyrics, you have to say this. It's a bit dodgy. It's a bit close, you know, because back in those days, obviously Christians didn't do certain things and didn't behave in certain ways, you know. So Kirk Franklin, I mean, some of the songs that he puts out, I just have to say, really?
Such an interesting argument, that, you know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting argument. I remember seeing a Kirk Franklin post about him not being really a gospel artist and all that type of stuff. But I think it's, I mean...
It's moving with the times.
Well, this is it. This is what I was going to say. That's what it is, Reggie. They say you've got to move with the times, but don't stray too far from the origins. Yeah, because then you lose. You lose something.
So the way I looked at Kirk Franklin and artists like that, Ty Tribbett probably is one ever. Who goes a bit to the kind of like, he mixes the drill and all that type of stuff. You look at somebody like Pastor Toby, who does this SPAC Nation, whatever. He's doing great things. He's using the skills of God to do what he's doing. But that's similar to what I look at somebody like Kirk Franklin,
right,
and Ty Tribbett.
I totally get that, because you're reaching out for a different audience.
But you're spreading
back in the day,
you're spreading the message.
Yes, you're spreading the message. Back in the day, you know, they would be looked at as sinners. But back in those days, Christians didn't wear lipstick. Wigs. Right? Even straightening your hair was frowned upon. Right? A woman straightening their hair. So your skirt had to be a certain level. So you sort of move with the times, but you got to remember where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with that, the justification, I think when I speak to a lot of people who, especially ladies who go to church and are quite spiritual and Christian and dressing in that particular way, they always say to me, I'm not dressing up for nobody. I'm dressing up for God.
Right.
I'm looking good for God.
Listen.
And that is a fair argument. I can't really argue with that. What can you say? You know,
I get that. I get that. I mean, I was brought up differently.
Yeah.
Because it was more old school. But obviously, who am I to judge? The judges will be judged.
So,
Interesting.
in your household, were you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
So, who? Because what I didn't mention, what I should have mentioned, you're also one half of the iconic duo Desi G and Barry White, the Bad Boys. I know Barry follows you as in age.
Yeah.
So being you was in a Christian household, I don't think sound system and playing music was high up on that agenda of letting you out to do that.
No.
So how did you break into that scene? Or was it you that brought, because when we had Barry, like Barry said, he got into it about when he was 15. So that would have made, but you would have been just older than him. Yeah. So was it you breaking that, you know, the lines for that to go ahead? Or how did that go? Did mummy blame you for making him go out and start doing that? Because you know what would have happened back in the day.
Yeah. You get influenced by your peers, right? Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And going to school and mixing with the kids your age, right? I used to live on Mail Road, and that was in the heart of the front line. And there was always blues dances going on.
In Brixton, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Shubeens, right? So I'd hear this music, right? And although I'm supposed to be reading my Bible, right, and going to church on a Sunday, this music is saying, yeah, like this. You know, so.
Yeah, but how did you break out into it? So,
well,
how did you? I mean, first off, they was getting out to listen to the music. So, how did that go down with your parents? Did you get licks?
Of course, I got licks. of course, I got licks. I mean, I don't know many West Indian kids of my age back in that time who didn't get licks. And when we got licks, we got licks.
Yeah,
you know. But I done what most people my age do. You sneak out.
You sneaked out.
Rebel.
You sneak out. You rebel. You know what I mean?
Did you rebel out with Barry, or did you have to leave Barry in and it just you?
No, dude, just me. Just me.
So when you rebelled and you started going into these originals blues dances, we would have called them, or shubeens. They would have been shubeens, but they weren't even blues dances. They were shubeens.
Yeah, they were shubeens. They were called, they were shubeens at that time.
Did you spend an hour or two and then go back in, or was it?
Oh yeah, you have to get back in before a certain time. You get late.
So you wasn't taking the piss. You were just saying,
what? You can't make them wake up before you. Before you get in.
So what did you love about the music that was played at the time, and what type of music was played in those shubeens at the time?
To be honest with you, back in those times, it was mostly reggae. What we'd call revival now.
And what type of artists are we talking about? What were some of your favorite artists that you heard?
Alton Ellis. Oh, there's so much. Dennis Brown, Alton Ellis, Horton Ellis. You know, I'm not even going to be able to remember. There's so many. There's so many. Delroy Wilson. I remember the first time I heard "I'm Still Waiting," and that was played by Supertone.
My old
Supertone played
Wally.
that tune.
Yeah.
Wally played that tune
legend
one night, and I was like, "Wow!"
Was it wow the song, or was it wow the reaction from the majority of people in
Wow
the
the
party?
song, and then wow the reaction.
Yeah.
Was that your first experience of Supertone?
Well, I'm going to surprise Reggie now. I used to be in Supertone. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
I used to lift boxes.
Oh, okay.
I was a
Didn't-
box
so
lifter.
both of us then we got something in common.
Yes, I used to lift boxes for Supertone.
Okay.
Wow.
So, was that, so
Legend.
when you heard that tune, was that when you said, "I need to be a part of this," or did that come later?
I just thought to myself that, you know what, I started mixing with certain people, won't call their names, yeah? But I started mixing with certain people who were around Wally, right? And they sort of brought me in. But I wouldn't say that I was actually in the sound, because you couldn't go nowhere near the tune.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right?
There was
You
an
just
order.
help lift in the box,
And that's it.
yeah, and that's it.
Catch a drink.
Oh, God. There's a name, H.
H, yes,
H.
yes, H. Yeah,
I think H used to play as well, didn't
yes, yes. that's
H
right.
used to play.
H. Yeah.
Right? But Me, I'm nowhere near the decks.
Mm.
You know, just lift up the boxes. At the end of the night, put the boxes back in the van. Right, and if you're getting a lift home, you're getting at the back of the van with the boxes.
Had you started buying tunes by then?
No.
Okay, so you heard that music, you fell in love with that music. What was the first 7-inch album that you bought?
Oh God.
Or 7-inch? You can do. I don't know if it was 7-inch or an album. I'm just trying.
It would have probably been a 7-inch, but I'm not even gonna try and remember. There's no way.
So here's a question:
Okay.
when you heard "I'm Still Waiting"
Mm-hmm.
by John, right? And didn't you run to the record shop to go and buy it? Isn't that something that you would do?
No, because back in those days, money was
Right. Okay.
Scarce.
money was tight.
But you may not remember the first record that you bought, but do you remember the feeling of the first record that you bought?
The first record that I bought, like I said, I can't remember, but the feeling
The
is,
feeling of,
yeah,
of holding your own.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've bought this record, yeah, and I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna play it when my parents are not about, because I've got to play it on the blue spot, which is in the front room, and you're not really allowed in the front room anyway.
So, what age are you around at that time?
God, I've probably been about, I don't know, probably been about 17, 18.
Mm-hmm. So that's where Barry would have 14. So that's where he started to now after he's seen you bust out a little bit.
Because at that age now, I didn't even think at the time that I was rebelling, but you're taking more chances. You're getting older.
You're a teenager, innit?
Yeah.
You start.
Yeah.
And 3 years back in those days was a holy for years, isn't it? I keep telling people, like now, 3 years don't seem like nothing to some.
Oh no.
3 years was a holy per years.
Yeah. Well, we're only 2 years apart, but back in then, that was my little brother.
So he couldn't be around the same people.
He couldn't be around my people. Go and find your own friends.
So then you got into Supertone, and then you started to do that, and then you started to, when you bought that first record, was that the first kind of regular purchasing of tunes?
I started buying music after that.
Paper and money? Did you work?
I used to do stuff. I used to do stuff back in the day.
It just sounded like the right stuff to me.
Well, it seemed right at the time. We'll put it that way.
What we used to say back in the day, maneuvers.
Yes. Moves. I used to make moves.
So, you're making me. Don't make me laugh too much. So you're out here making your smart maneuvers. You start buying music. Did you have it in your mind at that time that I wanted to be a selector, or was there Desi G, the mic man, or was there Desi G, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just liked music?
No, I just liked music. I didn't feel like I wanted to play music or I needed to play music. It was just certain tunes that I wanted.
So you're just a collector.
Louisa Marks.
You're just a collector.
Caught You in a Lie. Certain tunes. I mean, you had Tony Williams used to be on a Sunday, I think. Right? And you're growing up and you're listening to those kind of people. And they'll play certain tunes that just move you, just touch you. And there was a record shop just down by Atlantic Road there. It was on the corner. It's now a butcher shop. Was it Desmond's?
All Times?
Was it?
Not All Time Records?
No. The Atlantic Road. You know, you got the market.
Yeah.
On the corner there used to be a record shop right in the corner. This is before Coxon had his record shop.
It's a butcher's now.
Yeah, it's a butcher's now. It's right in the corner.
Right, okay.
Right? I used to go there.
Right.
I can't remember what the shop was called now. But we're going back years.
I'm sure someone will come and
put it in the chat if you know it.
So I used to go in there and buy tunes, and when Coxon had his shop, he used to buy tunes. There was another record shop in the market I used to buy tunes from.
So when did you play out professionally? Was it at a party first?
I didn't play out professionally until many years after, because I didn't get into sound business or playing out. I started off as a promoter.
Really?
Yes.
You know that.
Right.
What you? Hold on. Let me just clarify. You used to promote dances.
Yes.
Wow.
You did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I
that.
was saving
Right,
that. I was saving that to later on, saying that I really like the fact that you're just a DJ and you don't want to be a promoter. You just come
But
and
you've done it anyway.
You come and thrown it out.
No, that's how I started.
What did
Okay,
you-
go
so what was the first? Or do you remember the first dance that you kept?
I can't remember the first dance, but
What was it with-
I had a friend,
Mm.
right? His name's Junior,
Mm.
and he used to have a cab office in Brixton called Granada Car.
Oh yes.
So no. And that way Devon and everybody. used to-
Yes.
Yeah, we know that
Right.
one. Yeah.
Right? And we all used to hang out in the and
Was that Neil Kenlock's part of Neil
That's
Kenlock?
right.
Okay, fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, me and Junior got talking one day, and by this time, my brother was at a sound called Mighty Diamonds
Mm.
with Stubbs, right, and Evero, Wallace, and Bread, right, and it was Mighty Diamonds, right, and me and Junior decided to put on a couple of dances using them, obviously, right. I think at that time, Sir Lloyd was about because they all grew up in the same estate.
Tulsa and whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Palace Road.
Yeah.
Right. And so we decided to put on a few dances with Mighty Diamonds. And
Did you make any money?
back in the day, yes.
Some cocoa money.
Yeah. Nothing. You're not gonna get rich. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you didn't make no cocoa money.
No. But it was all right for us. Yeah? You just felt good when you saw people
Yes.
rubbing up.
And enjoying.
And enjoying.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was more about that, to be honest with you.
Did you have a promotion name?
No,
Oh,
I
just-
can't remember.
Just invited people.
Just invited people.
Yeah.
Right.
You hand out your flyers.
Yeah.
You hand out your flyers, and that was it. Really, there was no adverts on radios or anything like that. There was no internet. Right?
No.
I don't think there was mobile phones.
No.
Do you remember some of the
No,
scripts
phone box
of your flyers? It's interesting because
It would be
I
something
like
like. I think at that time it might have been
Look, cordially invited.
Desmond and Junior invite you to so and so. Yeah, basic,
Yeah.
basic,
Clear print or something.
and
like
this
that.
would be in a captured house.
Captured would mean
Kick off the door.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'd put on the electricity.
We'd sort the electric out.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah,
keep
remember
it
them
up.
days there.
Blues
Remember them
dance.
days?
Yeah, blues dance.
Yeah.
We'd
How
get my
many
baby
rooms
sham.
would you have? 3 rooms?
Sorry?
4 rooms?
Back then, it's probably 3 or 4 rooms. Yeah.
With just Mighty Diamonds one.
Oh yeah, it would just be one sound. There was none of this holy per sound
football
business.
team lineup.
It was one sound. Right? And if you invited another sound, they have to bring
Bring
their
your
set.
own set in there. Yes, exactly. Yeah. There was no playing on.
There was no playing.
No.
No.
So how many more dances did you keep before?
I didn't keep that many, to be honest with you. I didn't keep that many. We kept about, I don't know, I guess maybe 5. Because they were all successful. But I, off the top of my head now, I can't remember why. I might have went on holiday somewhere.
So that might have been
been
a little break in the business.
Yeah. But when I returned, I was just too into music. I wanted to play music.
That's when you wanted to play.
I wanted to play music.
Was that because of the sounds that were out there at the time?
No. I think I really wanted to play music all the time. Yeah? And I didn't realize. Yeah. Because before I got involved in that, I used to go to places like D Unis, right? Safrado B, right? I used to go to Villa Road and those sort of places, right? And it used to blow my mind.
So for those who don't know, what was that scene like?
That scene is, we'll never get that scene back.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene was man and woman wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Scrubbing down the wallpaper all night. Yeah? The bad man them in the passage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Them not like too much darkness. Yeah? Them back off and be against the wall.
Okay.
Right? Them I watch. Right? And you got your baby sham.
Mm.
Carton, that's the lampshade.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes.
Baby
Yeah.
sham.
Baby sham.
Yeah.
That was always the lampshade.
Mm.
And you can buy mackerel and green banana. Curry goat and rice. Patty.
Mm-mm.
But them dances were wicked. Wicked. You know, but like I said, I'm really showing my age now.
No, but-
And a lot of the people, a lot of the faces back then, they've passed now.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of them are past now.
So then you decided, I want to be a selector.
Yeah.
But then obviously you got to find a vehicle to do that. You've got to also tell people that I want to be a selector.
Well, my vehicle should have been Mighty Diamonds, but Stubbs never wanted anybody else to play.
That's where you get
So how
your
did you get around that? Because a lot of selectors, like, you know, they often argue they don't get a chance. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, nobody wants to give us a chance. So how am I supposed to show my skills if no one wants to give myself a chance? You've been in that position.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And how did you get out of that?
right. How I got out of it.
Or found your opportunity?
My brother's always more business minded than me. I was a rogue. Right. So he financed a new sound after Mighty Diamonds, which was High Tension.
Yeah.
And this is where I came in and started playing music.
Yeah.
Along with Stubbs as well. But now I was actually on the decks.
Because you already knew you had a catalogue of music that you could
Yes. By this time I started buying tunes. And I had an ear for music.
But was it soul music or was it reggae music at the time when you started?
Back then it was a bit of before I was only interested in reggae. But by this time now, right, I started to get into soul. And when I say soul, people need to understand that I'm talking about 80s, Lilo Thomas, and that sort,
Kashif.
you know, Kashif.
And all that type of stuff.
Yes, that kind of, yes. Right.
What radio stations was you listening to at that time?
That, do you know my favorite person to listen to on the radio was Greg Edwards.
Legend.
Right? Greg Edwards, right? But my God was Robbie Vincent.
Oh wow.
He was my God.
What made him so special?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There was something about Robbie Vincent that I had to listen to his show, right? Obviously, I would tune in and listen to Greg Edwards on, I think, on a Saturday night. Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Rodigan used to come on a Saturday night as well.
Just after.
Just after. Just after.
Yeah.
But there was something about Robbie Vincent. I don't know if it's because he's a Caucasian, but it intrigued me. And some of the tunes that he used to play.
He did have a good ear for music.
Yeah.
And what soul or what sound systems was interesting you at that time as well? So that was from a radio perspective. Who was you listening to on the street?
Right. Who I was listening to on the streets
at that particular
time was I can't remember the name of the sound now, but you're gonna know who I'm talking about. He owns Porky's.
Beat Freak.
Beat
Scully's.
Beat
Scully.
Beat Freak.
Beat Freak.
Yeah, Beat Freak.
Yeah.
Beat
We used to
Freak.
play with them a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Beat Freak.
We used to play with
High
them.
Tension and Beat Freak.
Yes, we used to play with them a lot.
Did they give you some? Did they co-sign you back in the day? So that was one of your was one of the sounds that co-signed you to kind of get a move on, or was it just an equal thing that you coming together?
No, I would say it was an equal thing, but through playing with them a lot, then I found that we were getting other dances to play at with other sounds that played that that type of music.
Which was?
Oh God. And most of these were South London sounds, to be honest with you. Oh God.
Well, yeah, but what type of music was it, Desi?
The music was more funky. It was more disco,
dancing.
There was no slow jams.
Yeah.
There was no slow jams.
There's no.
No.
And I presume Robbie Vincent used to play that.
But Robbie Vincent used to play that.
He played a lot of Soul Boogie.
Because Robbie Vincent would play things like Bobby Caldwell and stuff like that, which would blow my mind. Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So
slightly different tempo, and it was that's what pricked up your ears. And
that was I was taking everything in.
Yeah.
But on High Tension, we play the faster stuff.
Yeah.
And we do all days.
So the all day is the same as day parties now. I know everybody thinks it's something new, but
no, all day,
no, it's not.
Yeah, it's just it's something. It's called something else. Yeah.
So when you got into that frame of mind now, and like the bookings were coming in, how was you enjoying your experience as a selector?
I was loving it. Loving it.
What was you loving the music?
Back in those days.
Adulation?
No. Back in those days, it was all about the music. And if I played a tune, I wouldn't say it was adulation. I would say that if I played a tune and I saw people dancing, I feel good. I feel good. I didn't need people to come and tell me that, oh, you're bad or whatever. Just the fact that they're dancing.
The reaction on the dance floor, put a smile on your face.
Yeah, put a smile on my face.
So you knew at that time that you had something as a selector, because believe me, you know when you don't. I mean,
yes.
Can I ask, was there a lot of black people dancing to the up tempo soul boogie on your scene back then, in South London?
Right, I got to be honest with you. Yes, there was.
Right, okay.
But later on, we haven't got to this yet. Years later, when we sort of like moved out of South London, i.e. started in playing in other areas, North London, East London, West London, that's when a lot of Caucasian people used to be in the dances.
Okay.
And I used to love it.
Because it's mixed.
Yes, because it was mixed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, as a youth growing up, I was told white people are the devil. Right? I'm going to like white people. Yeah? But seeing them in the dances, I used to love it.
Just to see them enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and they, black people are a little bit stush up and they just let themselves go. And I loved it.
Yeah. I had that same spiritual awakening.
Yes.
Literally at around about similar
same 17,
sort of 18 age
yeah.
when I started playing out of the M25.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay. It's a whole new world.
Sorry.
Okay.
Because at that time of growing up, you was listening to things like Bob Marley, gonna chase them crazy ballets, right? And stuff like that, right? Burning Spear and you just think to yourself, man, deal with them pagan, right? But when I got into the soul music, I started saying, you know what? People are people. You know what I mean? Let that go. You know what I mean? And yeah, I used to love seeing them in the dance.
Did you go to any of the DM clubs up in the West End?
To be honest with you, I'm not a person who used to frequent clubs.
Okay.
I didn't really used to frequent. I mean, 100 Club, Ronnie Scott's. I went to a few of them places, but I didn't frequent them.
What was the musical experience like when you went there? Was that something new again to you?
Yes,
to add
because
to your armor?
yes, it's something to add to your armor because you're hearing tunes, right? Especially jazz tunes, Ronnie Scott's, that I would never have dreamt of even buying. But you're hearing these tunes and you're seeing the reaction to it. You think, yeah, that can work.
I hear many DJs talk about Crackers and
places like Crackers. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I frequented them, but yes, yeah. 100 Club.
Yeah.
At that time, we had some of the other DJs who was on that circuit. That was really Paul Trouble Anderson,
Trevor Nelson,
right.
Norman J.
Right.
How was they how was they viewed by the street at that time? Because
Well,
obviously they were very popular,
right?
Up in the West End and everything else, and on this circuit there.
They were the big names.
Mm.
They were the big names, right? Especially Trevor Nelson.
Mad How.
That was like a
Mad How parties.
Yeah, right. But we played with them.
Okay.
Yeah, we played with them. Right. I remember there used to be some dances on Romford Road in some massive houses. Yeah, and we played with them a couple of times. Right. Bobby and Steve. Yeah. Fat Freddy.
Yeah, Fat Freddy.
Right. So you see, people, right? And when I say people, I'm talking about the people that sort of come to the raves now. They don't know about the history. Not just of me, but of the whole thing.
Of the scene, and how the scene developed.
Right. And that's why Set the Trend and certain books that have come out, paperbacks. Yeah. we won't go to that. Yeah.
I like that one.
They might not tell the whole story,
but they tell some of the story.
But they tell some of the story, which is okay, because something is better than nothing. Yeah, and you got to give a man his dues that he's even done that.
Yes,
invested in that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah. And you know what? You see, you're absolutely right there, because I feel that because people like the Trevors and the Fat Freddie M's went on to a station that managed to get the London-wide license.
This is it.
It's amazing when you think about the trajectory. If LWR had got that London-wide license instead, there would be it'd probably be all of you guys.
That's right. We're getting
who would be the Fat Freddie M's and the Trevor Nelsons.
I've got a little story there. When you talk about Kiss, we tried to get onto Kiss.
Okay.
Right?
What, Desi G and Barry White?
This is the reason why we weren't accepted.
What?
They only wanted one person. They didn't want a team. Even though Bobby and Steve
was on there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did they want? Did they want the voice or did they want the music?
They wanted both, but they wanted from one person. But to be honest with you,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you have that?
That's how I first met JM.
Oh, okay. JM Soul, yeah.
Was it? Okay. Yeah.
What did you?
Because JM wasn't into independence back then. There was no,
no.
There was no independence.
He was into his soul.
He was into soul.
He was into soul.
Yeah. The first interview that we ever done
was with Touch.
Was with JM.
Touch Magazine.
Touch Magazine, yes. I remember that, yeah.
So when they asked you to do that, I mean, at that time, we probably jumped forward a few years, but what kind of year was that?
That would have been...
That
would have been 90.
It was definitely mid-90s.
89, well, 99.
Yeah, it's got to be in the 90s now.
That was 90s.
Because the first radio station that we went on was Phase One, and that was 87.
Yeah, would have been 90.
Yeah, 87. So it would have been in the 90s.
Yeah, because Kiss got their license 92, innit?
Because you had stations like LWR, you had
Horizon.
Kiss, Horizon. There was quite a few pirates.
Yeah.
People nicking people's aerials and transmitters.
And when we touched on, when just to say that Phase, we shouldn't leave out honourable mentions. At the time, who you were playing with.
Oh my God.
On that station.
On Phase One, you had Fabio, you had Groove Rider, right? These are the ones that are still there doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Fabio, Groove Rider,
Booker T.
Big producer.
Nominated.
Big producer, right? Commander B.
Yeah.
We
were having a discussion about whether the
Junior Mac.
Junior Mac.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rest his soul. Yeah. So Phase One, it was a good launching pad.
It
was a good launching pad.
And that was, you wasn't playing Revival on there, was you? You started playing soul.
No, now I'm a soul man.
You're a soul man.
Right? Because I remember...
And what time was that show, by the way, when you was on?
Yeah, different. Show.
No, we had
Different.
graveyard.
Graveyard show.
We started on graveyard. You can't just come on there and get good show.
So the great Desi G was a box boy and did graveyard shit.
Graveyard. I'm talking. When I say graveyard, I'm talking about like 12 till 1.
Oh wow.
Midnight till 1 or midnight till 2. I'm talking about people sleeping.
Wow. Now you're playing soul, but what type of soul was you playing at that time?
At that time, was playing the funkier stuff.
Okay.
At 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And how was it received?
It was received good. That's the reason why Mendoza bumped us up to a better spot.
Which was now what?
6 to 9.
So 6 to 9, the infamous
on a Saturday.
Infamous 6 to 9.
Oh, so that's where the framework come from 6 to 9 later on, which we'll talk about on the
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 6 to 9 didn't really take off until we joined Power Jam.
Power Jam, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, but that was before. But Kiss was before that. The Kiss.
I wasn't on Kiss. We was
no,
never.
that was the question.
The approach from Kiss.
Yeah. That was long before Kiss.
So they didn't take you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever wonder why they didn't take any other street sounds, or did you ask the question? Or?
I think Kiss didn't want street sounds. I think Kiss had the people that they wanted. You're talking about people like Norman J, Trevor Mad Hatter,
Colin Favor,
Tosca.
Yeah. And to be fair,
Nicky Holloway,
players in
because when I'm talking about we wanted to join Kiss, by this time they were legal. So the DJs that I'm talking about now, they started on Kiss when Kiss was a pirate station. So they've been brought over when they got their license.
And to be fair, you mentioned his name earlier on. JM was someone that was trying to push.
James was trying to push
the soul.
Yes, he was, and I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit for that. Yeah.
So then that phase came and went. By this time, was you still high tension at this time, or had you now? Because high tension was Desi G and Barry White, and at some point, Touch of Class was the next step.
No, high tension wasn't Desi G and Barry White. I was just somebody who was allowed to play music. High tension was Barry White. Right? High tension was Barry White and Stubbs still. Right? Okay. Because there's no Mighty Diamonds anymore. Right? It's now high tension. Right? So I'd be allowed, I was collecting music, like I said, and maybe I was allowed to play a little bit more, and started getting a little bit more vocal, because at the end of the day, my brother's things, I don't want me play hands.
That's where it starts.
Right? And from there, high tension, Touch of Class.
So how did that call go? Because to Touch of Class at that time was South London wise, anyway, throughout London, Touch of Class was the sound and carrying the torch.
Right. Touch of Class was formed before myself and Barry joined it.
Yes.
Right. And if I can't remember everybody, but I can remember Jeff American Express was one of the founding members of Touch of Class, along with Slim Tim, Tony Nix. There were others, but I can't remember their name now. Yeah. And Touch of Class would mostly play in South London. I'd say that was it. That was their base, and that's where they played. Dances would be packed. But it was just oh no, this is before Val Pacino.
Okay.
Yeah. And dances would be packed. Yeah. When Tony Nix approached me and Barry, I think he might have approached me, and I spoke to Barry, right? And we decided to leave High Tension and join Touch of Class.
Why did you choose to do that?
Because...
Or what was the motivation at that time?
The motivation for me, I can't say from a brother, but for me was Tony Nix is a little bad man and he knows people. Yeah? Apart from the fact that we know each other and
you grow,
right?
Yeah.
So he knows a lot of people. We're gonna get more places to play.
Yeah.
That was my motivation.
And it did. I mean, that did happen anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you came there, who was the main selector when you arrived there? Was it Tim or was it someone else?
Jeff.
No, because Jeff was not about.
Okay.
Jeff was not about at that time. Yeah. Believe it or not, Tony used to try and play music. I used to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I said your vocation is the mic. Right? So I would say that the selecting was really done between me and Tim.
But it was Tim. So it was Tim. So when you came in, it was you and him.
Yeah.
And before that, it was Tim.
Yeah. At that time, Touch of Class consisted of Slim Tim, Tony Nix. I don't think it was Desi G. I think it was just Desi and Barry.
Desi and Barry.
What about Doctor? Wasn't Doctor some?
He came after.
Doctor came after as well. Dr. H. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you and Tim sort out who's playing them? Because you get yourself involved in this, playing with
throughout his life.
other selectors on sound quite considerably throughout where we're going to go through. So how did you now sort this out with Tim? Who's playing at what time?
I think it was quite easy because me and Tim had a relationship away from the sound.
Okay.
We used to be together most of the time. And we're talking about them times man never work.
Okay.
Right?
24 hours.
So 24 hours. You know what I mean? We're up and down
easy
the street.
Was you buying music together at the time and everything?
We started looking for music together.
And I know where you make it sound complicated, but what you have to bear in mind is that these dances used to be like 2 o'clock in the morning and go all the way through till afternoon. So you can do a 4-hour set, a 3-hour set, and then Tim can come on and do another 3-hour set.
Yeah.
So there was enough time for everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem.
It wasn't 5 sounds playing at that time either. It was Touch of Class.
I've got to correct you there, Michael.
Yeah.
Them dances would start about 12 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock. Yeah. People come out early, not like now, right? And between us, Mystery, we invented EastEnders. The dance would go on from that time until when EastEnders start.
Yeah.
And EastEnders used to come on. Was it
1 o'clock?
Was it 1 o'clock?
No, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
One of us did it.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people be going to church and they see us raving.
Yeah.
What kind of dress sense was going on then, Desi? I know you're a man that like his style.
Yeah, he likes his
outfits,
classic.
Well, that's now.
Oh, okay.
I've only become dressy now. But back then, for me, I wasn't interested in that. All I was interested in is playing music. So for me, I was comfortable in a pair of Reeboks, them old white Reeboks,
them ones.
a pair of jeans, and a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm cool.
But Tim and Tony, they were the dressers.
Tim,
dressers.
especially Tony. Tony is Tony. Yeah.
They were the
Fashion
dressers. Yeah.
So if we're talking about fashion that you used to wear, what kind of fashion was in your record box at the time? What type of music would have been your artillery box? So, because we know that we used to walk with 3-4 set up music boxes for the dance. Not like today where you walk with a laptop and everything's on it. So you got 3-4 set on. You'd have one of them would be your shots box, which would be the ones them that when the dance get in the middle of that dance, this is the shot. I'm gonna correct you. I stand to be correct.
I was about to say, because my box was always
all my records are shot then.
I did my records in BPM.
All my records were shots. Go on, Dizzy.
I didn't have shots. Right? It was a work in progress. I was learning all the time, right? But because I was so good at selecting, right? I would go to play with a sound, and I know that sound could kill me. But on the night, yeah, because of the way I've selected the music, they would never know.
It's the way you put them together.
Yes.
It's the way you put them
together. It was always, yeah. It wasn't what I had in my box. It was the way that I selected.
And we ain't got there yet. We ain't got there yet, but you're still like that today. But we're going to get there later.
So what kind of tunes would you have been playing like that back in the day?
Back in the day, you could play tunes, right, that you could just pull. Back in the day, I think people were more open-minded to tunes. Yeah,
they definitely were.
And if you had a good mic man, you was halfway there. Yeah, because you'd have a way where you say to your mic man, tell them if them not dance, them no tune.
So they would just have to dance anyway.
So they just start dancing.
Yeah. What would be some of the tunes that you would have liked to have played? So you've got you had your pick of the two top mic men, them at probably at that time with Tony and Barry. So what tunes what's the type of tunes that you would have selected at that time to just go on?
I would say a lot of Barry White tunes because that's how he got his name.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Secret Garden, the slower stuff or the more up to
no, I'm talking earlier stuff. I'm talking about like playing games and stuff like that. Yeah. Now,
because it had a little bit instrumental. If it had a bit instrumental,
if it had a little bit instrumental in it, right?
You get
so Barry White used to imitate Barry White, and that's how the name stuck with him. Yeah, obviously he'd make up his own lyrics, but he'd do the voice
in the tone
of Barry White.
Yeah.
So when you joined Touch of Class, were you still playing the kind of like up tempo, so boogie stuff, or how did that transition go from?
Right, at first, when we first started playing, because remember, we were still playing a lot of 80s music, but now we'd played some of the slower 80s music as well.
Interested to hear.
What made you make that decision though?
It's just
natural.
Yeah, it was just natural. I owe it to myself.
Prime time.
Right? Prime time. You know what I mean? So we're going from really funky stuff to
just slowing it down a bit.
To slowing it down a bit.
But still danceable.
Yeah.
And did you have segments? Because I know you're fascinated by the rubbings that was going on at an early age. But you couldn't really, people wasn't really rubbing to that tempo. So there must have been a second segment somewhere.
I don't think we had segments as such. I think back in those days, we probably just watched the crowd and we think, let's change it up now and
slow it down.
Yeah. Oh, this slow music, too much rubbing going on. Want to see some madness, you know what I mean? So yeah. But
did you blend a lot then, or is it just the usual white man talk? Boom, tune comes in, selector, pull up, and did you do a lot of like technical mixing skills? Did you practice in any way?
No. Because back then, you're probably talking about one turntable.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Next record.
No, you're talking about one turntable. Then there weren't two turntables.
And even when it was two,
mixing.
That's the beauty of the mic man. Then,
Okay.
And
because there was more an introduction of music.
Yes.
Right back in the day. So the mic man, you would tell the mic man what's coming.
You would rely a lot on your mic men because sometimes even when you're trying to find the track, you know what I mean, and you're trying to find the groove to put it in.
Yeah. Pitch black in there. 10 light.
So the mic man, you had to depend on them a lot. So you needed a good mic man. You needed a good mic man. So probably by that time now, I think we probably had Dr. H was probably in the sound. Val Pacino.
Oh, Val Pacino.
It was a machine.
Yeah.
It was a machine at that time.
Wow.
But you see, these personalities that I'm talking about, because the mic men were personalities, they would interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? And they would let everyone in that dance feel like you're talking directly to them. So
is that something that happens now or doesn't happen enough now?
With the exception of Hollywood, Dodd, There's not many DJs that can do it. Sorry, Mike, man. Yeah.
Can I put a shout in for Cappuccino from Big Business? I don't know if you've heard.
Yes.
He's
No,
very
I've
good
heard
at doing that.
Business.
Yeah.
He's very good at doing that.
Yeah.
Reggie Styles.
Reggie
Reggie
Styles.
What about Frankie Beverly?
Frankie Beverly, yeah, he's come on in leaps and bounds.
Tell me, but I keep telling everybody.
Leaps and bounds.
He's probably come on more than anybody
I think
else,
that
boy.
Frankie Beverly is underestimated. And I remember Night Moves. And I remember Frankie used to talk on the mic or wanted to talk on the mic and no one would allow him.
People don't know.
They would not allow it. And I knew he had potential from Night Moves.
Okay.
Yeah, and look at
But
him
when you
now.
said no one would allow him, like there was just bigger mic men.
There was big, mic men with bigger names. So you know who this suit.
yeah.
Go sit down. You know what I mean? But Frankie had the potential from then. He just needed the platform.
Yeah.
So Touch of Class is kicking off. Was then Power Jam was around that time?
Power Jam was that time, and the 6 to 9 show.
And you went straight into the 6 to 9.
6 to 9 show.
So did it kick off straight away?
6 to 9 show just kicked off.
And when we talk about 6, I think people need to. That was. I mean, I don't even know what to describe that as. That was. If you were listening to radio for our
Iconic.
community, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You
Iconic.
just had to listen to that show.
Yeah.
If you wanted to know where the rave was, you weren't interested in no other sounds in that genre. I'm not talking about, you know what I mean, just in that genre, right? Where's the dance? Where's Touch of Class playing? You're not interested in no other dance, yeah? Where's Touch of Class playing? You listen to 6 to 9.
And,
Go on.
And at that time, was it mobiles or was it pagers? It was pages.
It was pages.
It was pages.
It was
It was
pages. Because
pages,
I remember
but-
having my
that's right.
pager.
It
Yeah.
was
I used to have my
pages.
pager on my hip.
Yeah, it was pages. It was
Yeah,
pages.
there weren't mobiles.
Yeah.
Mobile wasn't invented.
Yeah, great memory.
It was pages. It was always pages. Yeah.
And you had what seemed like, for us anyway, the whole of London locked. When we talk about you as a rare group don, people don't probably give you as much credence for also being a slow jams don as well, because there was a transition from what people term as rare groove to slow jam music now, which was coming in.
I laugh when I see people talking about slow jam king and stuff like that. I just laugh, yeah? Because if it's one thing, yeah, and you must know what you're good at and stick to what you're good at. I'm not saying you can't try other things, but you know what I mean, right? When it comes to slow jams, nobody can touch me.
See?
The GOAT.
Nobody can touch me. Yeah?
What's your
When it comes to rare groove, nobody can touch me.
What is your preference, rare groove or slow jams?
I'd have to say slow jams because rare groove is
Slow jams
is limited, and if you're doing a rare groove dance, right, you've got to limit the way you play. You've got to adjust. You've got to try and entertain the people in front of you. You can't be coming up with all this connoisseurs music. I've got them. In fact, they're around my dear friend's garage. She will tell you how much music I've got. All right. Now, I've got tunes that I cannot play in a rare group dance.
Yeah.
Because people would say, what's he doing?
But isn't those tunes like your 6 to 9 show? It's a very special show. A lot of songs got created
Through
those 6 to 9 shows. So some of those rare grooves that you say you can't play, if you was to champion them through your 6 to 9 show, make them popular, then you would be able to play. Because some of those records that you play now couldn't have got played in those rare groove dances, just because after you started playing them on the radio, people started getting familiar with them.
Yes, that's right.
And getting
I
very
totally agree
popular.
with you. Some of them were so slow as well.
Townsend,
Right.
Playground.
Right. Thank you.
It's
Right?
a 6 to 9 anthem.
I hear people play certain tunes now
Yeah.
and start talk about, bring this on. And I said, shut up and sit down. Yeah. Because you're trying to reinvent history.
Yeah.
Right?
Eddie Kendrick's Intimate Friends, Paul Johnson version.
Right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I brought these tunes.
No.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I discovered them. I discovered a lot of tunes. Yeah, but what I'm saying is we made them popular. That's
Absolutely.
the difference.
Yeah, on that scene. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah?
It's no use you discovering something and people don't know about it. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Right? We made them popular. Right? Maybe because the show was popular. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? And although me and my brother are like that now, we're not like that. Right? It was a combination of my selecting and him. His presentation. You know, so that was listen, people used to go to Brixton or wherever and do them shopping and make sure them back in them house.
Yeah, I remember. Or
in the
in the barbershop listening.
Yes.
Or we're Supertone trying to get tickets.
Yeah.
You got the most amount of bookings from that, though, ain't you?
Well, as you know, at one point in our history, promoters used to phone me and say, I'm keeping a dance, I want you on it. Who do you want to play with? It wasn't, this is the lineup. Who do you want to play with? And they say, do you want to play with
Did you ever say no?
Yeah, lots of times. I said, I don't want to play with him. So for a long time, I dictated who was on the dance with us.
Right, okay.
So certain sounds, you know why you weren't getting no bookings. Like.
Well, and certain people still holding grudges over
really?
that. Yeah.
But was it more about the music quality than the persons? Was it more about?
It wasn't because I didn't like the people. It's just I just thought, you know what?
This is what I wanted.
Yeah. Fifth Avenue. Yeah. Touch our class. Yeah. Nice dance. Yeah. Hyper. Yeah, that's a nice dance.
So you still had that promoter thing in the back.
It wasn't because I didn't personally like the people. I was just thinking to myself, that would be a nice dance. I like the way Raymond plays. I like the way Stevie Hyper plays.
What was funny with Desi, that when I used to play with Desi, he's one of the selectors that I would always know that you have to have your box kind of ready for him. You know what I'm saying to you? And what, as a young you, because them time there I'm still green. You know what I mean? As in, even though I've been around a little bit, but in terms of the intensity of you're playing with the big boys, it's like a Premier League. Week out, and you got to have your shit up, ain't you? You know what I'm saying to you? No matter how hard, I could have played the best set. I said, yes. Yeah. Desi would come on and drop some simple little tune
and bust up the whole place.
Raise the bar.
Yeah.
The kudos.
No, listen, and you just there and you're just like,
I was the kudos effect, mate. I was going to play that.
Yeah, but that's life, right? And
no, it's life for too long.
Too long. Yeah, I hear you. But listen to the point that I'm coming to. There's progression in life. Yeah, some people progress and some people just stand still. That's what used to happen back in that day. But now you're booking me to play on Coco.
Yeah, I get that, dude. But the thing about it is that, and respect for that, the thing about it is that you see back in the day when you're a selector, that we used to look up to Desi. As far as I'm concerned, every DJ who's a selector that come after me or bus are after me. I'm not talking about the foundation, Rare Group sound. They're all been influenced by Desi. And any one of them tell you that they haven't been, they're liars. Because no matter where you went, no matter what you did, it was Desi. You know what I'm saying to you? And even when you play your slow jam, you know you got to be up to the par with it, because Desi would come in like you bust the place. So you might play a H-Town here and that, and then all of a sudden Desi come with some Blackstreet track off of this album. Hold on a minute, where you go with that? You know what I'm saying to you? And he was always someone that you wanted to pit your skills against because of the level and quality of how he played his music. Remember, he didn't mix. He played his music.
Yeah, draw tune.
But you see,
selection.
I don't believe in false modesty, right? I'm good. Right? I'm good. Yeah. But I never became good on my own. I had help. I had help from the likes of EastEnder in the record shop.
Be in your ears and telling you.
Getting me certain tunes. Desi, you need to be playing this. Touch T, working in Red's Records. Phil, Reggie, giving me certain tunes.
But the skill is listening to them.
Yeah, you got to know what tune's going to work.
But the way you play them, you like when you stand behind the decks, like, you know, you see back in the day, you see some DJs going through their record box and like, you're so simple. You're just like calm and you like, it's so easy. You make it look so easy.
Even Tony was here. There's a team I select. Your brother. You know what I mean? Your brother.
There's certain selectors, right? Even though he gets on my nerves, right? But DJ Legs,
you have a brother.
He's a selector like that. All the time he's in the dance, he's studying.
Yes,
right before he comes on. Yourself,
all studying,
right?
man.
You're studying, right? And he knows what he's going to do when he comes on. And then he does it.
So when you say studying, though, come on, break this down to me. Like, you know, I've had the odd shocker now and again. I'm coming after somebody on the decks playing music. What is it that you're actually looking to obviously you want to bust the dance, but what is it that makes you go, right, this record is going to be the right tune? It's not your tempo, all that type of stuff. Is it a feeling? Is it like
I don't think it's anything that anybody can teach you. I think you need to have that in you.
That's right.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's quite simple.
Because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. Right? Yeah. And I've tried to teach a few people in my time, and they just don't get it. Right? It's an ingrown thing. It's something that you just got in your heart. Yeah? And certain people just know when to drop certain tunes. Yeah? Right? You can play a little off-key tune here, but you got to know how to bring it back.
Yeah, I always believe in that. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't wait till the tune's done. Right? To the paper. Right? I mean, when we were playing vinyl. Yeah? The tune's not working, man. Take it off. Play something else.
I remember Desi used to say that sometimes. Sometimes take it off. No, it's not working.
It's not working. It's not working. You can see that it's not working. A lot of DJs, even now, I think maybe now it's worse than vinyl. They're not watching the crowd. They're not watching the crowd. They're not studying the crowd. Their eyes are like this in the laptop. Because it's all about them.
Screen.
Yeah? You got to be watching the crowd. You got to be watching the people because we're there to entertain them.
But again, as I said, you make it look so simple. Many a times at Rear Groove Legends, when you're playing, you're one of the ones that come on towards the end, and all the other DJs have played out everything.
No. Let's get that right. He comes on in what you envisage to be prime time.
Prime time for
let's
Desi.
not. No, let's
it comes
not
on
do
towards
that.
the end because it's the prime time in my selection.
That sounds better.
In my selection. And when I look at them and then I'm like, what's Desi going to play now? And you come on with like a really basic, simple rear groove tune and turn over the place.
I think
is that something that you just do or just
no? Because all the time that the previous DJs are playing, right? I'm thinking, my head, I'm going like this, right? And the DJ might play 5 tunes that I wanted to play. Yeah, so I've got to find 5 other tunes
while they're playing your thing.
Well, yeah, right. A lot of times, even Raymond, right? I've come on after Raymond on the Rear Groove Dance. I said that little.
That's only because sometimes I know Desi's tunes.
You can't know Desi's tunes.
I do know.
No,
I've studied him that long. You're talking about.
I don't like you.
I know Desi's.
I'll stop playing with you.
So I know if I throw. It's not. I don't want to play Desi's set.
Yeah.
I just want to make it more difficult for him to be able to,
which is all right, which is good,
so
because he's pushing me.
Yeah, but you just come on with something simple like Chuck Mangione and the
but
place
then that's
turns
what
over,
plays me
and then the place turns over. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, there's so much music out there. If you're a selector,
it's not a problem.
and a man bust a dance with a tune, you should be thinking, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I got boss.
But you don't have those expressions. You
No,
just do it
I don't.
simple.
No.
Nice and calmly. I love it. I love it.
I'm just calm.
Yeah.
But
Danger.
he's exactly the same.
Competition.
Yeah.
He's exactly the same.
Yeah, Ray is very
You don't
competitive.
see him get hyperactive in a dance.
No.
Yeah, Ray's very
He's
competitive.
just calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
Like I said, huh?
You used to be like that.
That's yes. Listen, I don't. Maybe I'm not like that no more because, to be honest with you, I used to dance. Yeah, I used to dance, and I don't really do much dancing. No
When you
more.
say dance, you mean
With women,
crubbing?
not with men. Right?
No, we know that.
Women, right?
Women crubbing.
We don't play that. Yeah, but no, I used to dance. I used to dance hard on my own and with women. Now
That's kind of gone out of the game.
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
kind of gone out the game, and
Fun's out of it, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't get the enjoyment that I used to get out of it. I still love playing that. I still love music, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Generation, right? And don't get me wrong, you know, I love, right, Afro beats. And you'd be surprised at the Afro beats that I've got. Yeah. But maybe the reason why I don't play that type of music, unless I have to, yeah, is because I don't consider myself to be an expert at it.
Okay. You ain't mastered it yet.
Right. Yeah. It's not my main interest. So you know what? Leave that alone to people who can do it better.
Exactly.
But now, you got to be a multi-junior DJ now.
No.
2024.
But you don't have to.
You do.
No, I'll tell you why you don't have to. We don't get those dances anymore. If you're getting dances where it's just you and another DJ, it's all right. But they're putting too much DJs on the bill.
Oh, okay. So the number of DJs. Okay. So
Yeah, you probably got 45 minutes, if you're lucky, to do your set. Why the hell are you trying to play all different genres in that 45 minutes? You don't know if you're coming or going.
Well, sometimes the audience dictates that.
What, 45
In the
minutes
No.
of 5, 6?
No, not
songs
for.
on the music?
Do you know how much
Yeah,
tunes you playing that, right? And you got to take into consideration some of these tunes are going to be wheeled back.
Okay, maybe not on the scene, but I think I've been to a couple of these gigs where they've been. It's ironic
What,
actually.
2 minutes?
They'll play
of
like
a minute of a tune or something.
like,
Yeah, but
they'll
that's
run
the
through
Yardie
5,
style.
10 tune in like 10 minutes of one genre, and then you hear a Shania Twain record mid set.
Yeah, but that's the
And
Jamaican
you hear-
thing.
It's not like you're going
It's
down
a Jamaican
Oakland Road
thing,
a bit
you
too much.
Yeah,
Listen,
you
okay.
play 10 minutes or 5 minutes of a tune, and it switched to something else.
Yeah,
People like that. I don't like it.
yeah. I don't like it personally, but sometimes, well,
You
it
know what I
seems
mean?
to dictate the play it.
Desi, can I ask you something?
Mhm.
How do you deal with difficult clients or a request
What for
from
music?
someone in the crowd?
I give them a look. Don't ramp.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Let's
camera
give them a
free.
look.
Give camera free the look.
I can't do it now. No, I just give them a look
I
because
remember when they used to come and stop your music. It used to be, I mean, that was one of the first ones. I mean, so back in the day when we had vinyl, people used to come and stop the music. So this is before Yardie pull-ups and £20
Yeah,
pull-ups.
yeah.
Way before that.
Yeah.
We was kind of one of the first scenes to really do that jack-up thing.
That's right.
You know what I mean, that's to
That's
come and
right.
stop the music and like you'd have to pull it back to the start
That's an appreciation of the song, yeah?
as an appreciation of song. Yeah. You didn't. I think there's a point that you played along with it, and then you just like
Don't touch my record.
you just wasn't having it.
if I'm playing, well, maybe not so much back in the day, but now you got 45 minutes. You're lucky you get an hour.
Mm-hmm.
How many tunes you gonna fit in that hour? And every tune you come, somebody's stopping it.
Yeah.
They're stopping it. So you in your repertoire, you might just end up playing
7 records.
if you're lucky, right? You want to shine. Every selector wants to shine when they're playing,
Yes.
right? Make no mistake about it. You want to be able to say, "My boss, the dance." Yeah, that's what you're there for, right? And because of Tom Blogs or whatever, Mary Jane coming out and stopping every tune that you play, right? And it's all right when they do it once. But when it's the same tune,
Would you?
And they're stopping it 3-4 times.
Would you like it if it was money pull up and they were putting £20 there?
No, it's got nothing to do with money. I'm an entertainer. I'm an entertainer first. It's not about the money.
Okay.
It's not about
you want to play your music.
Yeah, I just want to play music. And I fit in as much good music that I can fit in my 45 minutes or hour, whatever I get. You know?
Yeah.
What's your biggest dance? I mean, before I go to your biggest dance, when we talk about you as a selector, we love you so much as a selector. There was a dance that there was a cup clash. I remember there was a cup clash that happened. I didn't go.
Was it Rare Groove one?
It was a Rare Groove one. That and you didn't go neither. But you got the award. They had a cup clash. 2 sounds went on in it. 1 sound won it, or 2 sounds won it, and you got the award. I just thought I still don't know how this one happened. That's how much that we love you. Do you remember that one?
There's a saying.
Do you remember that? No?
Yes. And there's a saying. To be the best, you have to beat the best.
So because the best wasn't there, they still gave it to him.
So deep down inside, they knew they didn't beat the best, so they just gave it to you. Okay, there's your answer.
What's the biggest dance that you've played on that's giving you the most memories?
There's so many to mention.
Yeah, we'll just name a couple then. If you name, let's just name.
To be honest with you, I'd have to go way, way back, and I have to say, back in the days of Funky Express.
Okay.
American Express. Because I learned so much from that sound. Right? I started playing tunes that I would not have dreamed of playing just by hearing them playing.
The punkier stuff or the slower stuff?
Everything. Everything.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
For me, the baddest, I'm talking about in our genre, Rare Groove, and the baddest sound ever.
That's the baddest sound ever. What's the baddest dance that you've been in?
It would have to be one of their dances.
As a selector?
As a selector. And I remember the first time we were booked to play with them, I was shit scared. I said to Tim, boy, we have to go street, and look too tuned, right? And I was shitting myself, right? And on the night, we done good, we done well.
You heard that
we done well. But like I said, it was all bravado because I know I ain't got the music they've got.
Yeah.
I know that they could have made me look stupid, but because I was a good selector
and the way you put it together,
I put it together, I get
job done.
Yes.
And that seems to be the running theme as well. Through
it is. Your sometimes it's not what you
history.
got.
Yeah.
It's not what you got. If you're a good selector, you're a good selector. I mean, because you can play a simple tune and still mash the dance.
Yeah, still mash up the place. Yeah, I'm guilty of doing the opposite sometimes, where I think, it's too worn out.
No,
I'm going to play something, a bit different or in a different way to try and impress myself rather than impress the
It's
crowd.
just it's a feeling that you get, really. Yeah. It's a feeling that you get, and you think, you know what, this tune is a little beat out, but I'm gonna drop it. I've got a feeling this is gonna work, and you drop the tune,
and 9 times out of 10.
And you think to yourself, look at that, a man's being bussing tune, and not getting no response, and you're busting, right? Which I've done many a time. Because it's just something. And you've done that loads of times.
Yeah, done loads of times. Thank you.
Loads of times.
I wonder what your answer is, what your opinion is on this. Back in the day, because it may change now, you're kind of solo. DJs, apart from when Tony Nicks and Barry and
Dr. H,
and I'm talking about 76, I'm talking about all the man. Back in the day, it was before, because the younger ones got bullied. But the ones that were there before, when they were holding my...
I never bullied you, did I?
I'm not talking about you. Oh, I said, D. I said, I'm talking from a mic man perspective.
I've always had love for you. Come on.
So I'm saying is that
The Redskin man then get all the girls.
please. Can we edit this?
The girls that said the Redskin man and pretty like money.
Those anyway.
Sorry,
Can his manager shut him
I
up?
digress. Yeah.
The MCs, they used to chat across all sounds back in the day. Yeah, I'm talking pre time. Yeah.
Yes.
So you would hear those MCs and they'd talk across different sets of DJs.
Yeah.
Then it got to a point somewhere in the 90s, point that it was only now you could only chat on your own DJ. Yeah.
Right.
What days were better? The days that the DJs could chat across anybody as a unity thing, or the days where you hear MCs now only wanting to talk over a certain their own DJ set?
If I'm looking at it from the public's point of view, it would be the DJs just chatting, because then you wouldn't just have one DJ, you'd have a mixture, right? And everybody's got something to bring to the table, yeah. But after that, people started to be this is the sound men, right, or the selectors saying, I don't want my selector, my mic man to be chatting for nobody else.
He's laughing. Guilty.
Very guilty. Yeah, very guilty.
Laughing.
Especially if you know that you've got a hot mic man. You don't want him nicing up somebody else's set, right? And Legs used to say to me, "No juggling," right? That was his favorite word. It could be jazzy.
Okay.
No juggling. That means don't chat for nobody else.
Only latest edition.
Only latest edition when we're playing. Right? And I kind of get that still.
It worked though.
It did work, didn't it?
The dance just started, had a new lease of life.
It did work, didn't it?
And that reminds me, I mean, we haven't even covered that. So you broke up from Touch of Class. Was that an amicable break up?
No, it wasn't amicable. It wasn't amicable.
Was there a reason that you'd like to divulge why you broke up?
The reason why we broke up is because Tony was such a well-known person and such a likable person. He had so many friends and associates. They couldn't charge them.
Okay.
You won't get paid.
I'm not getting no Skrilla. At the end of the day, I said, Tony, so what? He said, what? You know, he used to put that arm around your shoulder. Right? He said, come on, Tony, man. Me and Tim used to cuss all the time. He's just doing these dances for the people and blah, blah, blah. So that's the reason why I left.
And then you had a sabbatical. And then you get another call to form this super sound, because there's only 3 man in it.
Right. What it was, we used to go to BAM Records. We used to be hanging around BAM Records a lot. I used to go there and buy music and so on and so forth. Yeah. And we formed a friendship with Barry Bam, Eastender, and the other guys in the shop. And I don't know how it came about, but Barry suggested that we form this sound. I don't know who came up with the name.
So this would have been the super sound. So it would have been DJ Legs, Super Kid.
Shut up.
No, it was just Mr. Eastender.
Nah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
It was Mr. Eastender.
Go ahead.
What did you say, Super Kid? Legs said his name was Super Kid.
Was it?
Yeah, and he changed it to Mr. Eastender. He said, you can't be late edition.
It might have
with
been
a name like Super Kid. No, listen, we've got that on recording.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna dispute that. I just can't remember. I just remember him being Mr. Eastender.
Yeah, he's been getting it for a while.
I know. Super Kid.
Because of the muscles.
I don't know. Maybe. I can't remember.
What happened there? That story was that Legs, Big G, and myself was playing at the party. And Legs says, I want you to play some reggae. Can you play some reggae? I said, yeah, of course I can. He goes, what's your name? I said, it's Super Kid. He goes, no. I'm not having that. I was like, and he says, where you from? I said, East London. He said, East Ender? because that's your name, and that's how that happened. So
Yeah.
there was no Super Kid in latest edition.
Before we get to that,
Oh, good.
make something clear here. At the time of me in DJ Legs, DJ Legs was not a DJ.
No, he was a promoter. That's right.
He was a promoter.
Yeah,
He used to work with Big G.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, they were promoters.
Wine Bar.
Yeah, and you just have to say they were promoters from West London, even though he didn't reside in West London.
But he was a West London born and bred.
But I saw something in Legs that other people didn't see. Right? And I said, you know what? He knows music. Right? He needs a chance to play the music. Right? So I used to say, like, bring him in, let him play at Continental. Right? And G used to give him big fight. You're a promoter. What you want to play music? What you play music for? Right?
Oh, is that what you getting from?
Yeah. Right? Foolishness.
I told him.
Foolishness. Yeah. Stick to promoting. You remember, Mike? Yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he stuck with it. And now he's the Don.
But before we get to him being the Don, so you said yes, and then that formed
latest edition,
the Super 5.
Yes, which consisted of
Desi
EastEnder,
yeah,
Jazzy J, myself,
Barry,
and Legs.
Yeah. So
and two managers.
Two managers.
Who's Big G?
Big G and Barry.
But Big G was really never a manager, was he? He was just.
I've only got positive things to say about Big G.
Listen, this is what I would say.
I was like 16 years old, and like I was living in East London, and Big G used to come and pick me up and drop me home.
Yeah, which helped.
Which helped. So without him,
he was somebody who could see an opportunity.
Yes,
always a businessman.
Yes.
Yeah, he could see an opportunity.
Yeah,
and he jumped on the opportunity. But I'd say Barry Bam was really our manager.
Yes.
Although, if Big G's watching, he will say, "No, this is lying." I don't lie. I tell it as it is. And who don't like it, don't like it.
So any sound that you move from, you enhanced. I think Legs would say.
Are you asking me or telling me?
No, I'm not telling you. Like, you was a key signing. In football terms, like, you was a key signing. You brought latest edition. You helped propel latest edition up onto a different level.
And and like I said before, I could sit here and take all the adulation, but with the help of Barry White.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
And then you said later again. Did you want to?
The money wasn't strong enough. It can't divide between six.
It was too many of us in the sound. Yeah.
But you were playing out. Yeah, but you were playing out.
Yeah, we were playing out a lot. But remember, the money that we were taking in, or what we were commanding in, is completely different from what we're getting now.
Okay, cool. So it's amicable.
Yeah.
It was amicable. It was amicable. Yeah.
And then you went on to form the original Bad Boyz, or was it just the Bad Boyz? Because I saw somewhere the original, and I do remember the original.
I'm not 100% if it was the
original
Bad Boyz or just the Bad Boyz. Probably just the Bad Boyz. So I would imagine it would have been just the Bad Boyz. Yeah.
And you went on to carve your own niche in.
Yeah. But before we get to the Bad Boyz, I'd just like to say, latest edition did not fulfill its full potential. Right? Because if latest edition did fulfill its full potential before we broke up, we would have been worldwide. We were wicked. We were bad.
Yeah.
And everybody in the sound played their parts.
Yeah.
You was. I mean, that was Jazzy J's strongest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody could touch us at that time. Nobody.
He couldn't. He was like the number one.
Yeah.
to go to as well. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. How many people used to book you? Used to be able to split.
Yeah.
You used to be able to split your team.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
still got late edition.
Four events.
We was always stronger. We were also always stronger together.
Yeah.
But we could split. We could do 2 dances.
Which was better for you? Blues dances, warehouses, clubs.
I'm glad you mentioned that because no disrespect to nobody. Sometimes, I'm at home and I might be listening to somebody doing an interview or I might read something and people's talking about Oxgate Lane and this and that. And what was the other place down Dorkston there around the back?
Ashwin. And Ruby Centre.
And
there's another one.
Don't forget somebody was there.
Tyson Street.
Because them I go and like them did I run the thing. It was all about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had to bust one tune in the dance and the dance mash up. But this is what I'm talking about, people reinventing history. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting down, I've read things, right? I've watched things and I think, you fucking liars. Yeah? And at one point, I was so angry that Set the Trend never invited me on, right? So I could set the record straight. Yeah?
We was always doing that. We were always doing that.
Right? No, but my argument was this, and you can call me a prima donna. I'm thinking, you want to invite me after all these people?
No, like when we decided your name was the first one that we wanted.
Exactly, you were high up on that.
You was the first name on it.
Definitely.
That's what we wanted.
But you weren't talking Skrilla. Joke.
Anyway, which one? But what is your take on that then?
On what?
On blues dance, warehouse, clubs for you personally as a selector?
What that I prefer?
Or that you preferred? Obviously, we're comparing that over amount of years. So
my first love would always be blues dances. We progressed from blues dances to warehouses. And then from warehouses to clubs. Because at one stage, you remember, you couldn't get any house dances. Yeah, the police had locked it all down. You couldn't keep a house dance anymore. Yeah, and we went to clubs. And then at one time, we couldn't get any warehouses. And then we moved into clubs. And that's where we are now. That's where we are today.
Yeah.
Forgot about Club Zero as well, where
Club
Zero, Friday night where you jammed it out on
Raymond, this is what makes me laugh, right? I mean, tell the truth, man. Just tell the truth. You know what I mean? There's no shame in it.
One of my nights that I liked, and he reminded me today, like King on the Rye.
Oh yeah,
was like,
Peckham
was very special.
That was the meeting point again. That was another meeting point.
That was very special.
Another meeting point for you.
I've watched so many Set the Trends. I'm not gonna lie. I've never sat down and watched the whole one. But I've watched them and I think to myself, you're lying. You're lying, not gossip. Right? And these people coming on here and lying. But maybe that's the way they saw it. Yeah?
Telling their truths.
Perspective.
Yeah. But from 80... All right, say from 87, yeah? When we first went on phase one, to most of the 90s, who was running it? Remember, 6 to 9 show, on Power Jam. Yeah? It's only when I had my little holiday and went away. You remember? And then everybody was like, yeah, it's our time now. He's gone. He's gone.
And then he came back and it was like nothing.
And then I came back and it was like,
sad. Their glory days
why don't he die?
Well, I don't think we thought that.
And not Ray. And up until today, a lot of people would like to see me disappear.
Maybe that, yeah. But that's because I think that's because they look at you as that iconic striker that's always been there. It's like, when am I going to be able to get there? And they were never able to get there. I mean, even up until now, even though you might say, well, maybe I've moved away from that top striker role as such. Yeah. you can't clearly see who's in that top striker role now. You know what I'm saying?
I can.
I'm not asking you to mention anybody.
I can.
Well,
All right, go, yeah, let's hear it.
I can.
Yeah, let's hear some of your
you're
favourites.
troublemaker.
I can.
No, favourites.
The top striker role, right, in no order, right, is Studio Express, yourselves, right, Goody and Nigel,
Special touch,
right. That is the top. That is the top.
That's the Champions League,
right? Champions League, yeah. Coming up,
UEFA,
coming up, right? Getting in that top strikers role, DJ Legs.
Okay.
Yeah?
Even after all that time from latest edition.
Because Legs was always a quiet man.
Okay.
He's not so quiet now. Bossy Legs now. Get bossy. Right? It's all right. It's all right to be bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah? But don't be too bossy.
You know what? On that note, I will say what, and I've known Desi as you probably caught him for quite a long time. I never foresaw that you'd have a female manager. Both you and Legs have now. What has that brought to Desi G?
It makes me a much more calmer person.
Wow, my You're doing a good job, Alison. Well done.
Because she is now the bully.
Okay.
And I can be the calm one. I can be the voice of reason. I can say to her, calm down. Calm down.
Can I just skip back a bit? Do you see a younger Desi G out there?
No, not in my not in the mold of Desi G. I see good DJs out there, right? Swaby Irie, right? Robbo is consistent. He's consistent, right? He's gonna.
I like those names.
I did say younger.
Young. So we're talking about.
We got a man celebrating his 40th year in the business. Yeah.
Who's that?
Swaby, 40 years in the business. So, like any younger ones. Like,
Younger DJs.
Yeah, younger ones.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a DJ that I like. Drama.
Okay.
Marcus Drama.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say that funny number. Cool.
I kinda like him still.
Yeah.
But you know the thing that I respect about him more than anything else? His playing ability or anything. He's got manners.
Okay.
And that carry a long way. My daddy used to tell me that. Yeah, him have manners. Right? So I salute him. He's gonna go far.
Well, he's one of the younger lot. Because we're getting a bit mature on the
Yeah.
Did you ever think though, when you started to do the business, looking at age, how we may have done when we were younger? So when we looked at people who were 50 and 60, did you ever think that you would be that person today?
No. There used to be an ongoing thing with me and DJ Legs where we used to look at certain DJs, we're not going to mention their names, and said, look at that old man back, he's still playing music. And now, we are that old.
Would you ever retire?
You can't say managers here, mate.
No, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that question honestly by saying I really do believe that I'm getting near to that.
Okay.
Do you know why I don't think that you are? Because you are a person that would literally die for your music. Literally, I can still feel that passion, and I know your passion for music. That ain't retiring you. Something else has got to retire you before that does, because you love music too much, Desi.
Well, this is the point. Because genres of music have changed, right? A younger generation is coming, right?
And they're playing slow jams now.
And,
you know,
but this is all right. I'm gonna come. That's exactly what I'm coming to.
What do you think about that? Let's
You're talking about the R&B and slow jams gigs.
Yeah. Well, they're playing our music.
Yeah.
Listen,
The R&B and slow jams.
Yeah.
Let's not And respect out to the man them that are out there doing it, and the younger lot that are out there re-evolving our music, because that's good.
I like this line you're gonna come out with.
Reinvented. Yeah.
I like this.
That's great, because they're keeping Desi alive, they're keeping Studio, they're keeping Fifth alive, because that's our music. What do you think about the kind of slow jams that they're playing now? Some of it we brought, some of it's a bit different, but what do you think about the new revival? Your honest opinion.
You only get honesty with Desi.
For me to appreciate you, don't come and do the same thing that I've been doing.
Hey.
Do something different. Make me say, rah. Don't make me say, yeah, he's playing all right, but
aren't they just playing like revival slow jams, like when we came and we were playing like the older music? So when we first come and we was playing some reggae music that was 15 years old or something like that, aren't they just doing the same thing?
I suppose they are. But we had a little bit more charisma, a little bit more panache, right? And like I say, we related, especially our mic men, we related more to
the crowd.
Our audience.
The crowd, yeah.
Right? Which helped, right? A lot of them's dry now. A lot of them just shouting on the mic. Yeah, especially the mic man. This yardie style, right? Right? This is the reason why I said, for me, the greatest mic man is Hollywood. Because Hollywood does not preach to you. He talks to you. He makes you feel like he's talking to you. Everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He makes you laugh.
Nobody wants to be shouted at.
Nobody wants to be shouted at, right? And if you're going to get that, which is all right as well, then you want that in the earlier part of the dance. Yeah? Because there's got to be a sound that's a vibe sound. I'll lift up the dance. Yeah? And once you lift up the dance, then you can do your thing after, and there might become a point in the session that the dance needs to be lift up again.
Yeah.
Putting on another hype song.
So you're all right in principle with all this, with the music coming back? Because obviously...
Of course, because that means I'll get Skrilla. I might get 1 or 2 bookings out of it.
When you hear some of the tracks that are being played now by some of the younger lot, and you hear them singing out to it, and you know that those are songs that you broke, how does it make you feel? Because obviously this is the first time you're probably experiencing that now. At our age.
It's life, innit? It's life. Life, you know, things go around. Right? Genres go around. Because one time there used to be soul music. Right? And then it moved to something, and then it moved to something. And they say it goes around, it comes back around again. So you can't really screw.
But did you ever think you'd be
You just realise you're getting older.
Yeah, but did you ever think you'd be here to hear it come back round again, and in such a position as in where you are? Because
no, I didn't think
because I didn't.
I didn't think I'd be playing music now. I'm old, yeah? Like I said, I used to laugh. I used to say, look at that old man. Yeah, he needs to go and sit down, but he's playing music. But now I am that old man.
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions before we...
Can I get a question in before you...
yeah, go on.
Because I know time's... Desi G 2024. Manager. All that type of stuff, you know. Number one, how have you embraced the new streaming platform technology, and what do you think about it? Number two,
good question.
What are we looking at in regards to Desi G 2024?
Right. As time has gone on, and I'm getting older, and there's up and coming DJs, right? And the bookings might not be every week anymore. Yeah. A lot of that is, I don't want to play at certain places anymore. It doesn't interest me, right? And promoters or whoever might go for a name that's ringing at the moment, right? So I think that will determine how long I'm gonna carry on playing.
But you're not thinking about continuing the legacy of having a Desi G live streaming platform like you got people like Greg Wilson and plays off of the reel to reels. Would you do a kind of like? I think that would be great. Like even a month, once a month.
You know what?
Once a week.
Although me and my brother don't see eye to eye, I would not do it without him.
Right. Okay.
Right. I started off in this business as Desi G and Barry White. Yeah. And together we are stronger. Right.
Would that ever happen though?
What's that, sir?
Well, you say you wouldn't do it without him.
No, I would never do anything.
Yeah. So is that something that
it's like
you may be able to look forward to in the future?
No.
Sometimes.
So it's
not
like
even as a reunion, no.
Right. It's a Oasis situation.
We have money for people for that, you know.
The Gallagher brothers.
Ali, we got Coco money, right? We're playing for that reunion.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, then what about? Okay. What about renting Hollywood for a couple of sessions?
Let me tell you something.
I think that'd be great.
Listen,
let's do it.
I would
have
play
a
with
word.
Hollywood at a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people would love it.
Let's do it.
But at the end of the day, Hollywood has his contract.
You're gonna put Raymond.
He has his contract.
Listen, we're in the age of collaboration.
Hollywood can.
We're on the age of collaboration.
I totally agree with you.
So I think Ray should talk.
I'm not going to put him on the spot. I'm not going to put him on the spot.
Ching ching.
I'm not going to put him. Right? You have to. You have to.
I'd be honest. I mean, like he can do. I mean, he freelanced the other day for Legs, so there's not a problem. I don't have that because that's where Hollywood loves. Remember, we know
what he loves. We know what he loves.
Like listening to you.
But at the same time, you've got a business to run. You're running your business.
But I'm kind of like yourself. I don't need to be everywhere and at everything.
No,
you know
not anymore. So not when you're making all that money from Coco.
Desi, 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 I need to know your top 3 Ray Groose tunes, please. Your favorite, Desi G's favorite.
I'm not gonna right. People are very easy to reel off their top 3 because they think about it when they're at home. They know they're coming to an interview. There is so many.
Well, just give me your favorite.
But one that springs to mind that I just love, right? 2 actually.
Hey.
Right? Townsend and Townsend.
Playground.
Yeah.
6 to 9 special. Anthem.
Yeah. Jeannie Reynolds. Old Standby.
6 to 9. Anthem.
Right?
You left me last night.
Yeah. Because you see those tunes, they're not your everyday tunes.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Right? And although people might play them now and go on like, yeah, man, me I play Jeannie Reynolds and me I play Townsend and Townsend. We know about them tune there, right? And then there's some obscure ones that don't make sense me even going to, right? Connoisseurs will know them, yeah? That it don't make sense me talking about them because there's couple of Arnold Blair tunes, and I'm not talking about
trying to get next to you.
I'm not talking about trying to get next to you. Yeah, because you got to remember where Arnold Blair's coming from.
Coming from
Curtis Mayfield and them man there. You understand?
Can I just say at the top? What did I say? I want to hear about a tune that I've never heard of before. So give me an Arnold Blair. Give me a recommendation.
There's one. I don't know. You into your slow jams?
Right. 2 hours on a Sunday.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about it today, and without going back on my laptop because the old Ray Matt is not as good as it used to be. I cannot remember the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to check out the Arnold Blair catalogue, and this Sunday, just specially inspired by the great Desi G.
I thought you would have mentioned Denise Kelly in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, Denise Kelly. That's another thing. No, I didn't discover it.
No, it's not about what you discovered.
I didn't discover that. But who made that record?
Yeah. 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Slow jams.
And
I'm talking from what we would officially call 91.
Do you know what?
The Jodeci era probably onwards. I know people say Keith Sweat did
89 from...
Yeah,
well, if I'm going back to my 90s era, not in any order.
No.
Right? Remember, I took a little holiday in the 90s. And while I was away, I was still hearing music. We're talking about CDs then. There were none of this laptop stuff, yeah? And there was one tune that really struck me, right? But it had been played and stopped. No one was playing it no more. In fact, there's quite a few tunes actually. Right? They might have played them when they first come out and then stopped. Nobody was playing it. And it's Big Bob. Zoom.
6 to 9.
Right? Because when I re-emerged, nobody was playing that tune no more. And I remember being on many dances, and playing Zoom, and people like they got tears in their eyes.
Bust up, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you said that, all the DJs going to be playing that from there.
Well, I don't know, because it came to a point where people were like pigeonholing me and saying, he's going to play Zoom. He's going to play Zoom. Yeah? And sometimes you got to mix it up. You say, all right, I'm going to play Zoom. I want to play it, but I'm not playing it. Yeah?
But, you shouldn't be, as much as they say that.
I know, because...
They're Desi G tunes.
I know what you're saying.
Say, whoever's saying it can't say it's their tunes. Like, there's
no tune belongs to anybody.
Well, there's some Desi G tunes.
Yeah, anthems. All the great DJs got there.
Like, when you play Here We Go Again, Isley Brothers.
Classic.
Yeah, other people play it, but...
Don't sound the same.
It sounds special when Desi plays it.
I've got little tricks that I do. Yeah?
Come on, the secrets are coming out now.
I hardly play music at the right speed.
Okay.
And believe it or not,
it works, yeah?
It just gives it, because a tune might be a few beats. The beats are not right. It needs to
speed it up a bit.
Speed it up a little bit. Yeah? And it makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing, right? And this is just old school. The messing about with the bass. Taking out the bass.
That's a Desi G thing as well.
Taking out the bass. Just letting the trebles and the mid-top play. And the mid-range. And the basic shit. Yeah?
It's basic, but I learned that from you. I learned that from you. And it works.
And when the chorus drop, now you just... the bass.
The secrets
and people just feel it.
Yes.
One quick last question before I go on to these cards. Do you hate when a DJ doesn't play his position when he's playing with you?
What do you mean his position? What, music? I love it. Do what you're doing, brother.
You don't care.
Do what you want to do, brother.
Do your worst.
Do your worst.
Even if he plays out the whole of the hits before you.
Play everything that you can think of. Please do it. Yeah? Because you're pushing me and I love to be pushed.
Because you're a master of your craft and you can work around it.
But what does he say? Form is temporary, but class is permanent.
Class is permanent. The thing is, when you're playing music, and you're a good selector, and there's many good selectors, but when you're playing music, you're never scared of what a person's played in front of you. Yeah?
Because you know.
Because you just know, so I'm going to go better. You know what I mean? I'm going to do my thing. Yeah? And you just go on and you do your thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
And all that person is doing is pushing you to play better. It's like you got a little competition.
But even when the man comes on and he's doing his set and it's like, he throws in the reggae record just before you come on. Them type of DJs.
Oh, somebody did that to me last night. No, they played the jungle record.
You're gonna throw the record back.
I'm guilty of doing the same thing. Because sometimes I just think I'm gonna fuck you up. No. I've done that. I just feel like being a bastard tonight, you know what I mean? I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah? Let me play a reggae tune. I've been playing soul all night, you know. Yeah? Right through my set. And I played 2 reggae.
Is that because you wanna fuck him up? But is that because you don't like him? Or is that because...
No, it's never personal. I never get personal.
Professional.
Right?
Professional.
I'm looking for my next booking, innit? It's true. It's true. I'm not going to be getting personal. It's true.
Right. Desi,
yes, sir.
We have some cards here. They're from the Diary of a CEO. They've got questions on it.
Right, go on.
I need you to choose one and then give me back the card so I can answer the question. Yeah. So
Is it possible that my agent stroke manager could choose one?
Hey.
she can, but I don't know how we're gonna get her on. I mean,
It's all right.
Reggie?
She doesn't want to be on camera. It's not a problem.
Cool. I need 3 of them, so she can choose 3 of them, please.
Free cards.
No, they're not tarot cards. I wouldn't.
No, Orbia.
No,
Orbia thing.
The Skrilla cards.
This
claim has been.
We're all Christians, not Orbia, yeah?
All right. Okay. What is your proudest moment? These are just life questions. Or you can relate them to music. But really, they're
they're life questions.
Life questions.
Oh, my proudest moment are when my children were born.
100%.
I have 3 children. All right, and that is my proudest moment.
What do they think of? Do they know how your status is in the music that you've been playing for so many years?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Not from me, but through seeing things on Facebook and hearing people talk about me.
How does it feel when they come and say something to you and say, "Oh, Dad,
I saw you on Set the Trend."
What did they say? So how do I feel?
No, how do they feel? Yeah, how does it feel when they come to you and they say?
My simple reaction is sector.
Oh my days, Desi.
Sector.
What has been the most happiest moment of your life? Brought you what has been the most happiest moment of your life? Brought you the most joy, and why?
Right. On a serious note, the most happiest moment in my life is recently.
Recently?
Yeah.
What was that?
When I was told I didn't have cancer.
Okay. Yes. Because you was cool. So how did that feel? Not knowing. I mean, being told that. How did it feel when you was in that moment that they said that you might have it, and then how did it feel when you got told? The relief.
There came a point when I was told that I had it that I was scared of the unknown. But there also became a point where I accepted that I might die, and I'm at ease with that. Right? So there was, because I knew that I had it before I was told that I had it.
What did you just feel like, or was it?
I just knew. It was just a feeling. It was just a feeling.
So that moment when you go in for the doctor to tell you the result, and then he tells you you have it. How did it feel like at that moment?
I'd already come to terms, although I wasn't told by a doctor, right, a medical person. I knew that I had it. So
was it a relief for you finding it out, or was it just, well, I knew anyhow?
Yes, it was. I wouldn't say it was a relief, but what I would say is I sort of like, yeah, all right, I already knew. It's been confirmed now. The relief is when I went for my checkup after my operation, and I was told that your PSA levels are high, but most of it's been removed. I'm still not out of the clear yet.
Your prostate cancer.
Yes. Yeah. I'm still not out of the clear, but at the end of the day, there's people worse off than me.
100%, yeah.
And I've just got to give God thanks that I'm still here today to do this interview. Right? And I realized that a lot of people have been through this thing. Right? And it is what it is. You just got to deal with it.
These are the kind of things that people probably don't see be like behind Desi G. They just want you to be Desi G, the selector, the happy-go-lucky person. But what they forget behind that
You got a life.
You've got your own trauma that
you got your own trauma.
And you're trying to be the happy person like when you go out and still deal in your head with, I'm going through this thing, how am I going to do? Because it never kind of goes away.
No, it doesn't go away. Life goes on. No matter what you're going through, life goes on, right? And you die tomorrow and life goes on, right? And unfortunately, it's only your close loved ones. In a couple of years, people forget about you.
Yeah, when you're gone.
When you're gone.
Yeah. Has it changed the way that you look at life?
I'd say no, because I've looked at life like that since I lost my parents. And we're going back some years now since I lost my parents. And I thought I was immortal. And when when death touched my family, I realized that, boy,
it's gonna happen to
all one day. Coming.
This might sound silly. I thought I was gonna live forever. But you realize, and even as you get older, you start feeling aches and pains, and you think, what's all this about? It's old age creeping up on you. It's creeping up, But you just got to deal with it, innit?
You got to balance, innit?
Yeah, and you got to be there for your children and try and bring them up in the right way. So that is your legacy, your children.
Thank you, Desi. What is your deepest fear?
Not making enough Skrilla.
Because money.
One more question.
No wonder, is that where we always get all his money from?
If I don't make enough Skrilla, I can't look good when I'm going out.
Skrilla. Hashtag.
I like that one, Skrilla, because that's old school.
That's old school.
That's old school.
I'm old school.
Is that why you always keep talking about money?
It's
my Desi, innit?
Listen, money makes the world go round. And I'm not just motivated by money.
No,
by the way.
Of course not.
But it does make
it's
the world
important.
go round. It's very important.
It's important.
We can't survive without it.
Yeah.
Skrilla.
Last question for Desi G. If you could give one piece of advice to yourself at the start of your life, what would it have been?
That's an easy one. That's the easiest question you've given me. Don't be so miserable.
What do people call you miserable?
Is the Pope Catholic?
Is it just that people just don't understand you, Desi?
People, listen. Most people dislike me. And I'm cool with that.
I wouldn't say most people dislike.
No, I'll say a lot of people. I'll say a lot. And I'm easy with that. It's not a problem.
Cause you don't like them either.
No, it's not that, Michael. What it is this. People dislike me because they don't know me. I don't allow you to get that close to me to know me. When you get to know me, you love me.
To be honest with you, I don't. Have you ever had a bad word? Have you ever had a bad word?
Listen, me and you can have bad word and we'll be all right the next day. You see, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because we've got to know each other over the years. You understand?
Yeah,
so you can fall out with me and I can fall out with you and we can be cool. But I can fall out with somebody else and that's it. I'll never talk to you
it's
again.
cool, yeah, because I remember we've had one or two real
of course.
Yeah.
But that's what friendship is. You get over that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You get over that. Yeah, you can fall out with your friends. That's life.
But if they're your friends.
But it's how you deal with it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on your tombstone, what would you want it to be written about, Desi G?
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Do you want that title now?
Somebody said that to me recently. And because Dodd sort of claimed that. Yeah?
Dodd was early in that, though. I think, I'm not saying that, obviously, he's not on his way to be that. But, I mean, that's usually given,
Dodd, listen, Dodd is a bad mic.
Of course he is.
He's a bad mic, man. He's not the GOAT. He's not the greatest of all time. Yeah?
He could.
That has to go out to Barry White.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
That has to go out to Barry White. I'm saying this, and we don't speak. Yeah, but it has to go out to my brother.
Yeah,
because so many DJs have based their
style
on them, on him.
Yeah.
Right. So that's got to go out to him.
So it's funny though, because if you really want to know how good the Bad Boyz are, the GOAT and the GOAT, the two of them together are the GOATs.
It could be.
No, Corrigoat. It's the Corrigoat.
The greatest of all time. The greatest of all time.
No, I respect. Like I said, I respect Dodd. I think he's great. Hollywood, I think he's great. Right, and there's others. Yeah, we won't go into it. Yeah,
you've always had a massive respect for Mystery, though, haven't you? You've always called him. No, you've called him the GOAT.
Right. And the reason why I call Mystery the GOAT, is because without Mystery, really, a lot of us wouldn't have been here.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
He kind of started this shit off. Yeah.
As in catapulted us.
Yeah, catapulted us.
The music, the scene.
When he was the man. He was the man. You had to go to him.
Yeah.
Please.
Right.
Yeah. And boy, did he let you know that he was the man.
He was the man. He was the man. So he's always got that.
He's got that
angel status.
Right?
He's always got that.
I believe, right? None of us is immortal. You got to give people their flowers now.
Yeah.
While they're here.
Right? It's no use you bringing flowers when they're dead. They can't appreciate it. Give them their flowers now. Yeah?
So Desi,
that's why I'm giving you your flowers.
And I hope you've appreciated, and I know you have, why we needed you here to give you your flowers. Why this was so important to us.
The interview weren't long enough because there's lots of things I'd like to say, but you know what?
we can
invite me back another time.
Can we what, another 5 minutes? Can we switch another 5 minutes production? Like we got another 5 minutes.
That's right. We got shares in the studio.
You can talk about it.
Right. I'd like to say that,
and that's because you got GOAT status.
Thank you very much. I've kind of touched on this already, but there's some good selectors out there. Yeah, I think some of them get a bit carried away when they play music, but you know what? That's your style. That's your style, right? I know everybody's like on tenterhooks now, like.
No, it's been a riveting conversation.
But I'm gonna mention, and if I don't mention certain people, I don't want them to feel like, oh, he's not putting me in that category. Maybe I've just, you know what I mean? Okay. I think Swaby Irie is a good selector, in what he does. I think he gets a bit carried away sometimes. Yeah. Okay.
What I said about Swaby, though, he is to me, he's the most dedicated selector.
He's definitely dedicated.
You can see he's thinking of music in the morning.
Yep.
He's thinking of music in lunchtime.
Definitely.
He's thinking of music in the evening, at nighttime, and he's putting his sets together.
Definitely.
Great.
Definitely. Yeah. And when he comes on, people are gonna move. Yeah. He has charisma. It might not be my cup of tea. Yeah, but it gets people moving. Special Touch, Fifth Avenue, Studio Express, right? I sort of put those sounds in the category that it don't really matter when you put them on. They will
entertain the audience.
Will entertain. Yeah. Now, you wouldn't put Desi G on at the beginning of a dance, would you? Because people would be like, what you put Desi on now for? I can start a dance, I don't want to. Yeah? Because it's not my lane. Yeah?
But don't you think that's where promoters need to get where you position DJs and fit them in with a genre of music and say, this is you, I just want you to do that?
I totally agree with you, but a lot of promoters ain't got a clue. And I can say that because when promoters are phoning up my manager, and telling her to do the timetable.
No?
What does that tell you?
Do I get paid for that? Yeah, get paid for that.
What does that tell you? Oh, can you do the timetable for me, Alison? I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's your dance. You're supposed to know where to put people, right? So
Play to their strengths.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And when I say promoters, maybe not the sound men so much, because the sound men know, right? Because they play with people week to week, so they know how they play. But I'm talking about promoters that are not actually
Promoters.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's still something to do. I mean, if you're booking Desi, you must know.
You should know what you're booking him for.
Yeah.
If you're booking,
You're not gonna book Desi and put Desi on at 12 o'clock.
No.
Are you stupid?
No, that doesn't make no sense.
I can do it if you really want me to do it, but I'm not really feeling
That's not
good
you. Yeah.
because you know I don't really want to play then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you think the business is? It's different, but how much out of 10 would you give the business now?
5.
How much out of 10 would you have given the business? I think I know the answer to the question, but I'll answer anyway. In 1999.
12.
How much would you have given the business at the start of the 90s?
100.
Have you got a lot to do to get the, or is it something that, because we always look at comparing genres with genres, like football teams, we always look at comparing the great teams from now to the great teams of the early 90s, of the early 80s. Is there no comparison to be had, or just to say, well, they're as good as their time is with what they've got to work with?
People are people. And I think what's happened now in the sound business, there's too many personalities. And before, right, every DJ tries to entertain the crowd when he's playing music. Yeah? But too much DJs have got their head stuck up their arse now. You understand? We would work together, right? I would work with you to get this dance buzzing. Now it's like it's all about me.
I'll do what I can.
You understand me? I'm pretty boy. Yeah, it never used to be like that. Yeah, and we cared more about people and making people feel special and wanting to see man and woman locked down. Yeah, in a dance. Yeah, it's not like that anymore.
But don't you think, from a pragmatic way of thinking about it, compared to, I would like to put myself in there, where we used to be in the 90s, mid 90s, to now, the difference is, and the reason why a lot of people have that attitude now is because of how technology has made and played a part in how people even dress, how people even engage with their fan bases and with people in general. So, for instance, people are now doing stuff for viral moments on Instagram, Facebook. Everybody's putting up a live DJ set or somebody busting a dance and all that type of stuff.
Very good, Reggie.
So it's totally different. So a lot of people now, they've got to play to what's happening and because somebody explained this to me the other day and they said, Reg, you're great, you're good at what you do, but you know what? You haven't got enough Instagram likes. And I was like, well, how is that going to stop me from doing what I do? But it's just now we're in an age where, if you are camera friendly and, I say camera friendly and you look a bit like, sweet boy like Ray or yourself or whoever, you know what I mean, who can attract the ladies, type of thing. Yeah, but everybody knows some people got a face for TV, some people got a face for radio. It's
ugly like me, not me, mate. I just know how to dress. You know what I mean?
But forget about my point is, it isn't aren't fan bases so different now, and there's a lot more competitive space.
What I think,
to get fan bases
with the onset of technology, right? Laptops and so on, yeah. Everybody's now a DJ. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's are now DJ, but they've not learned their trade. They've not come up, right? And everybody who's got a laptop and
a hard drive.
I've downloaded couple tunes from wherever, thinks, yeah, man, me can go out there and play music. Yeah. And people are putting them on dances.
But why shouldn't they? Why should they even worry about having to go through the development stage? Okay, I don't know if you heard about it recently. There was this influencer who used to be Elon Musk's girlfriend, and she called Grimes. She's massively popular. She's got about 2 million, 3 million followers, but she does a lot of really great production and immersive, and uses the AI game character. She's in a different, like the space she's in is unbelievable.
For young people.
Yeah. No. It can still work for our scene. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know, having that person who is using the technology and everything, but she went and played a set at Coachella, which is that massive festival. And things went wrong on the CD deck, but she didn't know how to work it out or how to use it or anything like that.
One day saw that she didn't even put a set together.
Yeah. She basically outsourced her selection to somebody else.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I know that story. Yeah. But doesn't that then show you, right?
Learn your craft.
Yeah, but it hasn't affected
you can still
bookings.
Have technology on your side. Yeah. But when things like that happen, if you know what to do when there's fuck ups,
but that's more about the popularity of a dream, isn't it? And it's not the popularity of knowing, as I said, as being a craft, of learning your craft, of knowing how to mix or knowing how to put music together. And I ain't saying that she shouldn't be where she is. I'm just saying, for someone like me that loves the music, I just feel that, like any apprentice, there should be a certain amount of the business, you know, and the craft that you know.
Okay, so here's the argument then. Here's the counter. You're a DJ, you've been DJ for years, you've been DJ for years, you've been DJ. How many of you have produced a record from scratch?
Oh no, this is where we fall down. We should have done that.
Yeah, but we know that.
We should have done it. So on the other side, I say he's progressed to produce to promoting.
Okay. But still,
he's not producing, but he's promoting. The same with Michael.
I think my point really was embracing the technology and being a bit more
using the technology
and advancing it.
Advancing it.
You know, have we left behind whether or not you can play on CD or if you can play on vinyl? Isn't that kind of like a thing of the past now? Because I started a laptop in 1999, so I'm now looking at what's Reggie, the next thing that I can use?
But Reggie,
to
you
make people go wow.
Before.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but I'm always thinking, what can I produce now that is going to make people go wow, and you know, set the pace for the scene? Is it immersive AI?
You don't have to do that.
And
you just need to be a wicked selector.
And bring in.
You don't need to do that.
No. But hit me out. Is it me playing my? Okay, here's a great one which just came into my head. Reggie Styles, not big on the street sound scene in that way. What if I came out as a selector playing similar style of music to what you would play, slow jams, that 6 to 9 thing, with a AI version of Barry White on Hollywood?
Where? In the dance? Or
you can do it on the dance or on the platform.
That might work for a future generation.
But how would you embrace for us? So you don't reckon people embrace that?
I don't think people would embrace it.
Do you know how long it took him to get here? Do you know how long it took us to get them here?
And you do know.
So I can go. So
it's not leaps and bounds.
So my point is that I can go and do it.
Yeah, it's decades.
My point is that I can go and do it. It'll take a couple of hours.
That might be something for the future.
Yeah, but it won't work.
It might be something for the future. But I think our generation of ravers, generation gone, which was my generation, and the generation after, I don't think that would work for them.
I'm going to test it.
Well, you try.
I'm always, God loves a trier.
Listen, there's always got to be someone to take the initiative.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Okay.
Wish you the best with that.
Know what I mean?
I know that I won't be around. I'll be 10 foot buried before that happens. But I do wish you the best.
At my next dance,
I'm
going to start playing the spoons.
At least, mate.
No, it's something different. You know what I mean? Why not?
Not the dance, but the spoons.
The spoons.
You say that, you know.
It might.
You might take that one.
There's a lot of Hollywood and Barry White tapes out there that you can take the voice from and
play the spoons. Has anyone ever seen anybody play the spoons?
Our ravers,
the
mate,
selector.
I like oil tankers, mate. You're not turning them around like that. They just take.
What's that? Oil tankers?
Yeah, they're like. I'm talking about if you try and turn an oil, you just can't do a U-turn and it turn.
Oh no! It takes time to turn around,
and that's what our lot.
All right, cool.
Hence why we've always been able to play the same tunes as anthems decade after decade, and we've never put them down. But not like some other genres of music.
I totally agree with that. But in Reggie's favour, I say that somebody has to
do something.
Take the mantle.
Yeah, somebody has to take a chance and
create something new.
Yeah.
So
I might invest in that.
This could be you
for my children.
You never know, Reggie.
Sound AI.
You never know, Reggie. One day we might be calling you the goat.
Yeah, for the technology.
Or even the cow.
And on that note, from the goat to the cow. Oh my days! It's been a pleasure talking music with you, Desi G. Thank you for coming on. One day we want to do a round table with selectors.
I would love to do that.
I would love to come here back.
I would love to do that and put them in their place.
And speak the truth.
And speak the truth, because the truth is so important. It's all right. You could tell your girl lies. Yeah? Right? I was playing at so-and-so, right? That's why I come home late or whatever. Yeah? We understand that. Yeah? We're men. Yeah? But when you're talking, man, just tell the truth, man. About certain things, just tell the truth. You know what I mean?
And shame the devil.
And shame the devil.
As your brother said a lot in his word.
Yeah,
anyway,
he says a lot.
The same household. That's why he knows the same household. Thank you very much, though, for coming. The GOAT of rare groove and slow jam.
Thank you.
Selection.
Thank
the GOAT. Thank you, Desi G.
Thank you.
Thank you, Desi G.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Thank you, Reggie.
Yeah.
Eastender.
Yeah.
Thank you to his manager, Alison, for getting him here safely. Thank you. We owe you one.
LTV.
And thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you, LTV Productions, Jide, J2. Thank you very much for.
See you at Cocoa White.
Yeah, we will see you at Cocoa White. Definitely. Ascot.
That's right.
We're out. We'll see you on another episode where we talk about the music culture, slow jams, rare groove, the connoisseur culture. Make sure you like, share, and follow us. And me, I'm out. Even with my cold, I'm out. Thank you for being here. Later.
I'm sure someone's going to rub your chest today.